everyone, I'm Jeff Kortes, Headhunter, former HR leader, and now international speaker on employee retention. Welcome to episode number 2 of Employee Retention Strategies from a Headhunter. After all, who better to teach you about employee retention than someone who steals talent for a living? Because that's what I do as a headhunter. The second key to driving employee retention is to hire for fit. Or as I like to tell people, don't be a twit, hire for fit. 50% of a person's success on the job is fit. It's not skills. If I had to choose between skills, if I got 65% of the skills I need, I'd take those skills and then really focus in on fit. Because the success or failure of people very often hinges on fit. As part of that fit, I would tell people, do not overhire. That's one of the biggest mistakes that people make when I talk about hiring for fit. The other thing is when you are probing in the interview process, you want to be talking about what do they value and what's important to them and how do they interact with peers and all those various things that aren't necessarily involved with skills or hard skills in particular, but they're important in the job. Because what you're looking for, is this person going to fit in with their coworkers? Are they going to fit with the boss? And are they going to fit with the overall culture of the organization? The best way that you can remember hiring for fit is, I'm going to tell you a little story about my daughter when she was going through grad school. I took her to the mall, and we showed up there, and she sees a pair of Steve Madden black stiletto heels. And man, she jumps over there and says, "Hey Dad, check these out." And I look at her and say, "Oh, okay, whatever." She starts looking at them and she's all excited, tries one on, tries the other on, checks herself out in the mirror, and man, she's liking what she's seeing. And then she turns to me and says, "Daddy," that's when I knew I was in trouble. I said, "What do you need?" She says, "I'm in grad school, I'm really short on cash, would you buy these for me?" So of course, I'm a soft touch, my only daughter, reach in my pocket, pull out my credit card, give it to the clerk. Sure enough, $110 later, my daughter has her pair of Steve Madden black stiletto heels. Well, she wears them out clubbing that Saturday. I'm in bed by the time she gets home. So next Saturday she's going out, and I notice her wearing her clubbing dress, but not wearing the shoes. I say, what's going on there? And she says, "Oh, Dad," she says, "they were too tight on my feet." She says, "I think I was a size 7.5, and I got a size 7 shoe." And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't you try that Brannick device and measure your shoe? Well, it's the same thing with hiring for fit. Think of the employee the person that you're bringing in. They have to fit into the shoe. Because if they don't, they're not going to be successful. One of the best ways to assess for fit, aside from an extensive interview and comprehensive interview, is to use psychometric testing instruments. Some people would commonly call them personality profiles. Psychometric instruments have gotten so sophisticated, they will give you a good insight into the person and a good insight into whether or not they fit the organization. If you are not using psychometric testing instruments, you need to start. Because where does all your employee retention start? With hiring. If you bring in the wrong people, they're not going to survive. So you want to hire for fit. That's the key. Use your psychometric instruments. Use a comprehensive interviewing protocol. And if you do that, I will guarantee you that you will see an improvement in your employee retention. Remember, don't be a twit, hire for fit. If you need to catch up with me and want to ask some more questions, go to jeffkortes.com. You can send them there, or you can send them directly to me at my email at jeff@jeffkortes.com. And make sure that you stay tuned and come in for episode number 3 of Employee Retention Strategies from a Headhunter.